Welcome back for another reaction. Today we're checking out Eric Gnarm. Looking forward to checking him out. Heard some great things. Guys, if you don't know me by now, my name is Max. I'm a communication skills coach. And what I do on this channel is I react to all different types of people's communication skills. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I look forward to diving into the video today with Eric Gnarm.
Hey, this is Eric Gnarm, and welcome to my Wired autocomplete interview.
My Wired autocomplete interview. Notice how he put his head movements into his words to emphasize them even further.
How does Eric Gnarm make music? How do I explain that? I tend to jump into a studio or a session with a producer, and we just talk about our feelings. We get really emotional. And then we spend, this is like the weird part out of context that gets really weird, where we just spend time just like humming weird melodies. And then we play it back, and then you're like, oh gosh. But then there's always a moment where it's like,
right away, he's got a very likable charm about him, but he's very expressive, right? He's very expressive, and I think he does a good job as a communicator. There's something we can do and we can learn, is he emphasizes certain words to help bring us in and to help further the engagement.
But then there's always a moment.
Right, and he'll emphasize the words, it seems like so far, that he wants us to hear. So, I'm sensing a little bit of that. And also, this is like the longest answer in Wired history, which makes me feel like he likes presenting. He likes telling a story.
And in this case, he was like, everything about you now is bittersweet, bittersweet. And that's how the songs are made. How many fans does Eric Gnarm have? How the hell am I supposed to know? I don't know. For me, just the right amount.
He's got a lot of energy, right? He's got a lot of energy to his communication style and his personality. I can see him kind of being a little more relatable because he's not like traditional Hollywood, like a Jackson Wang necessarily, who just gives off that like Hollywood charisma off the bat. Eric's more of like a boy next door charm, charisma from the first impression that I'm getting.
How to text Eric Gnarm? Well, I'm not gonna give out my real number. Should I? Okay, this is my number. It's 213-267-7391.
No way.
You don't need my number.
No way. Definitely changed his number. There's no way he kept that. Or he's like pranking a friend or something like that.
Oh, you mean like how to be like just outrageously good looking, talented, super witty and hardworking, ethical, morally just incomparable person?
When he emphasized that word, person?
Incomparable person?
He does that. That's something I've noticed so far in his communication styles. He'll emphasize certain words, and I think that's actually what contributes to what we perceive him as being charming.
Bye! What did Eric Gnarm major in? Good question. I majored in international studies with the focus on political science, and I minored in East Asian studies, not that you asked.
Yeah, he's got a great energy about him, doesn't he? Looking at the camera, smiling, very positive demeanor, very positive way of delivering his messages, doesn't break eye contact or smile. He kind of reminds me, you know what, maybe he is Hollywood.
Languages does Eric Gnarm speak? I speak Korean, I speak some Spanish, and I speak a little bit of English, and a tiny bit of Mandarin.
We can indicate and detect when he's being sarcastic without him having to have those obvious facial cues.
And I speak a little bit of English.
He didn't change the inflection in his voice. So I like the fact that he's deadpan and lets his audience figure out for themselves when he's being sarcastic, right? Sometimes sarcasm feels like people are on the defensive, and this isn't that at all. This is positive sarcasm.
I'm Year of the Dragon 88, which I think is pretty badass. My horoscope sign is, what do you think? I am a Scorpio. It means nothing to me, so somebody please educate me.
Very charismatic, Eric Gnarm. Really good presenter. He's got a very natural way of just speaking to the camera, and I like what he did there. It's something we can do on our own presentations when we're speaking to people in groups or doing a public speaking situation. Ask a question.
My horoscope sign is, what do you think?
And what that does is it kind of forces your audience to listen and be more involved and be more engaged. Right? I like how Eric kind of brings his audience in where he did just there. Very, very engaging.
There's this thing called 들깨 수제비. Yes, I'll say it again. 들깨 수제비. And it is a perilla seed dough soup. It sounds crazy, but it's delicious. It's like a dumpling soup that makes you feel so good. You're welcome.
Again, I think the thing that stands out is his energy. He's keeping this level of energy and positivity up, smiling, just seems sure of himself. Like he's got it down. He's got his performance down. And he's also answering the questions. He's giving some depth in his responses here. You see people in interviews sometimes, you can tell they don't want to be there. They're rushing through, they're tired. It seems like Eric is enjoying this.
I moved to Korea in 2011. Pretty straightforward. I moved there right after college. Did not know I was going to end up living there and starting a career, but that's what happened. Where did Eric Gnarm grow up? I grew up in the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
I'm a southern dude.
Wow. Right? Although he is in presenting mode, it does feel like this is sort of his natural tone. You just get a familiarity from him that draws you in. And I think that's a big part of why we're drawn to certain people, is because they feel familiar to us. I called it earlier, like this boyish next door charm.
Is Eric Gnarm vegan? I like to pretend I am. Is Eric Gnarm single? I am.
See how he's just pronouncing every word? I am, right?
I'm single? I am.
Right? And he makes his point heard. Again, something we can learn from Eric. Making his point heard. When he has a point to make, he looks at the camera and he expresses it. He doesn't shy away from people hearing what he has to say. So he really projects his voice well. You know, there's a lot of things I'm picking up here that I'm enjoying, and I think what contributes to making him such an engaging person.
Does Eric Gnarm play instruments? I poorly play the piano, poorly play the cello, and I can hold a guitar.
And again, I think the underlying thing with Eric Gnarm is he's got so much energy. I can see him being a TV host. I think that's what he was, TV host. You know, he's present.
Can I vibe? Hell yeah. Can I body roll? Hell yeah. Can I make weird body forms that people are like, is that safe? Yes.
It seems like Eric Gnarm at this point in his life is just like, he's on his way to the top, right? You could just sense that he's in a good place right now. He's flowing.
I was just feeling myself. We shot the video in Savannah and I was on a boat and I was doing this thing. I was like, oh, this works. Because it's a dance. If you don't like it, fight me.
And I like how he talks highly about himself too. It doesn't come across as arrogant, but he's like, yeah, hell yeah, I can do that dance move, hell yeah. Sometimes you'll see celebrities that are like overly humble, right? But as a result, that kind of comes across as disingenuous, or like they're trying to be humble, where it's like Eric kind of owns it and it's fun, but it's not arrogant.
Eric Gnarm, aesthetic. I don't know. I think it's just this chiseled jawline, these broad shoulders, thick eyebrows, and beautifully crafted eyes, nose, and lips.
I feel like that's a part of his sarcasm, is like building himself up. And it's funny, it's like he's subtly being self-deprecating because we know he's being sarcastic, but at the same time, you know, he is bringing positive attention to himself. So he's got a smart sense of sarcasm that I really enjoy.
대박 Show. 대박 Show is my podcast. We've done probably over 150 episodes. The #1 show, period. Except for this one. This one's pretty cool.
Although he is being sarcastic when he does bring positive attention to himself and says he's got the #1 show and he's this really good looking guy, obviously there is sarcasm there, but ultimately it's more in the way he carries himself and just sort of like presents to the world that makes me feel this is a guy who really likes himself and is at the top of his game right now.
I decided to make a cooking video called Nom Noms, where I am making a delicious pot of kimchi jjigae.
Nice.
stew. And if you want to make it,
So
go to
good.
it's really good.
It's really good.
All jokes aside, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure getting to share a little bit more about myself and to answer some of your most frequent Google searches.
I like Eric. I like his energy. And I like at the end there that I saw he can kind of turn on that real sincere switch just like that. So the guy knows how to perform clearly. Great presenter, great communication skills. And I'd be curious to see more of that side of Eric Gnarm. Guys, as always, if you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis, you can. All you need to do is click on my Patreon link below. I've also got a ton of uncut content on there that I think you'll enjoy. Tons of live reactions as well. You can check all that out on my Patreon page. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. My name is Max. I will catch you soon. Peace.